In any accounting class, there are journal entries that are required, and the form of the journal entries is particularly important. Accounting departments within business organizations want those journal entries to be in the exact form that they prescribe, with no deviations and no ambiguities whatsoever. In order to get these journal entries correct, we need to understand two fundamental concepts. The first concept is that of the T account. The T account derives its name from its shape. It is in the shape of a capital T. There are three things you can be sure of about any T account. Up here on the top, we have the title. The title is the account name that we might be dealing with. Over here on the left, we have the debit, and over here on the right, we have the credit. Please notice that I've used the abbreviation for debit and credit. There is no R in the word debit, but DR is the accepted abbreviation here. The T account is used to create the journal entries. And a correct journal entry in the right form will have 5 items to it. The first item is a date. Every journal entry must be dated. If the problem gives you a date, go ahead and use that date. If it doesn't, make one up. Today's date is always a possibility. In any case, the journal entry has to have a date. The second item is that there must be an account which is debited, and that one must be on the top. Third item is that there must be an account which is credited, and the account that is credited should be under the account that is debited, and it should be indented slightly. Fourth item is that there must be a footnote or an explanation which is centered below the journal entry. Now, some students are very concerned about what that footnote should be. The footnote will describe the transaction that the journal entry is detailing. It can be very generic, such as wages paid, or it can be more intricate, such as giving us invoices, check numbers, terms, company names. In my classes, I don't care what the footnote says, but I do care that there be one. And the fifth item for a successful journal entry is that the total of the debits must equal the total of the credits. This is very important. Let me erase the board now. And I'll give you an example of how the T accounts are used to create the journal entries. Let's take a basic example, such as the fact that we paid wages to our employees for the month of August. The account would be wages expense, which keeps track on an ongoing basis of how much we have paid the employees. Wages expense being an expense account, the proper signs are plus here and minus here. The other account that would be affected is cash, because that is what we are going to pay the employees out of. And the signs there are also plus and minus. If we are paying our employees $2,000 for the month of August, we want to increase wages expense by $2,000, and we want to decrease cash, the money is coming out of our cash, to pay the employees by $2,000. This is going to lead to the journal entry. Remember, there were 5 things the journal entry needed. First thing was a date. It's going to happen at the end of August, so I'm going to date it for 8/31. The debit to wages expense goes in here as my debit account. And that amount is $2,000. The credit is going to be to cash, because the money that we're paying the employees is coming out of cash. it is indented slightly, like so, and that amount is offset from the debit amount. I sometimes get students who put these amounts for the debit and for the credit right on top of each other. Make sure they are separated. Make sure they are offset so that it's easy enough to tell which one is a debit and which one is a credit. The fourth step was to provide a footnote. My footnote is going to be paid wages for August. And the fifth item is to make sure that the total amount of the debits equals the total amount of the credits. If you do journal entries in this form with all 5 items, a date, an account that's debited, an account that's credited, a footnote, and make sure the debits and credits are correct, you will be giving it in the form that is prescribed by accounting departments. Remember, they want the journal entries to be in the exact form that they prescribe so that there's no ambiguity, there is no question about what the transaction actually was. If you provide these journal entries in this form, they will be correct and you will get points for them. I do take points off in my classes if dates are not provided and if footnotes are not provided. So please give me all 5 and you'll give me good journal entries. Thank you.